This man needs no introduction. You know him, you love him, the one and only Mr. Beast. Just kidding. Actually, I think we need to start this story from the very beginning. Meet Larry Ellison. This is the story of how he went from being broke to being a billionaire. Larry Ellison wasn't born rich. In fact, he wasn't even born into a wealthy family. Larry was adopted and grew up with a cold, distant father who remarried many times. His adoptive mother died when he was 9 years old, and after that his father sent him to military school. So you can imagine he had quite an interesting upbringing, but it clearly didn't stop him from becoming one of the richest men in the world. In 1966, while attending the University of Illinois, he dropped out for the first time to start his own business. After that, he tried the University of Maryland and then the University of Chicago. But Larry dropped out again and again. Later, he said that he always knew he was meant to do something more than what they taught him in school. So he decided to follow his heart. But that wasn't easy. At first, Ellison bounced from job to job. He worked at Wells Fargo and then he moved to Precision Instruments. But his big break came when he joined an electronics company called Ampex. Here's where he learned the ropes of sales and honed his craft. He quickly rose through the ranks and became one of the best salespeople in the industry. At the age of 30, he made a whopping $1 million. That's around $4 million today. He kept some money aside for taxes and the rest he invested in real estate. One of those properties ended up being a real gold mine. The building he bought in San Francisco turned out to be prime Oracle territory. Larry loved the location, so he put it to good use and rented it out to Bob Miner, who would soon become his business partner. The rental payments were so lucrative that Larry could have retired comfortably on them. But he wasn't done yet. With his successful career at Ampex, Larry thought he finally had it all. But little did he know that fate had other plans for him. In 1973, Ampex fired him for gross misconduct. The exact details are unclear, but rumors say that Larry got pissed over an argument with his boss and stormed out of the office without finishing his work. Shortly after that, he was fired. He had bills to pay and a family to support. But instead of taking the safe route, Larry decided to take a leap of faith. With just $2,000 in his pocket, he teamed up with two former colleagues, Bob Miner and Bob Young, and started their own venture called Software Development Laboratories. And guess what? Their first product was a database management software that they marketed to universities and small businesses. They named the software Oracle, and it was the start of something big. To fund their operations, Larry mortgaged his house and put his entire net worth on the line. It was a huge risk, but one that would soon pay off in a big way. In the late 70s, the CIA needed a database management system. That's when Larry and his team submitted their proposal. But they faced stiff competition from established companies like IBM and Honeywell. To stand out, Larry played a card that few companies could match: aggressive pricing. His plan was simple: offer a cheaper alternative to the CIA and win the contract. But there was a catch. The government wanted to see a working prototype before signing off on the deal. Larry and his team worked tirelessly to make it happen. And guess what? They won the contract and got their big break. But little did they know that this breakthrough would change everything. In 1977, the company officially changed its name to Oracle Systems Corporation. You see, Larry's initial idea was to build software that helped people access and manage data more efficiently. But the success of the CIA project opened up new possibilities. He realized that the technology could be used for other purposes, and that's when he shifted focus to commercial applications. As the company grew, so did Larry's responsibilities. But he wasn't afraid to delegate tasks. He brought in experts to lead different departments, freeing up his time to focus on the big picture. One of those experts was Ed Oates, a marketing executive who joined Oracle in 1982. Ed was tasked with developing a marketing plan for the company's new product, Oracle V2. But he soon realized that something was missing. The product itself was great, but it lacked a proper brand identity. In the tech industry, having a strong brand is crucial for standing out from the crowd. So Ed sat down with Larry to discuss the issue. Together, they brainstormed different names and logos for the company. But nothing seemed to stick until Ed had a light bulb moment. He suggested the name Oracle, inspired by the ancient Greek term oracula, which meant delivering messages from the gods. Larry loved the name and thought it was perfect for the company. But there was one small problem. Another company called Oracle had already registered the trademark. Undeterred, Larry and Ed decided to fight for the name. They took the matter to court, and after a lengthy legal battle, the judge ruled in Oracle's favor. Finally, the company could move forward under its new name, Oracle Systems Corporation. This victory was a turning point for the company. Having a unique and memorable brand name helped Oracle stand out in a sea of tech companies and set the stage for its future success. But the journey was far from easy. In the early days, Larry had to knock on countless doors to get clients interested in his product. But his persistence paid off, and slowly but surely, Oracle started gaining traction in the market. However, with success came new challenges. As the company grew, Larry found it harder to connect with his employees. He was known for making big promises and setting unrealistic expectations, which often left employees feeling overwhelmed and under pressure. Despite these challenges, Oracle continued to grow, and by the 1990s, it was a major player in the tech industry. But the economic downturn of the time hit Oracle hard and the company was forced to lay off thousands of employees. This was a wake-up call for Larry. He realized that he needed to make some changes if he wanted Oracle to survive, and that's exactly what he did. He stepped back and took a closer look at the company. He laid off 25% of his workforce, streamlined operations, and refocused on his core competencies. These tough decisions paid off, and Oracle emerged from the recession stronger than ever before. Under Larry's leadership, Oracle continued to grow and innovate. The company went public in 1986, and Larry became a billionaire overnight. But he didn't stop there. He continued to expand Oracle's product line and customer base, and the company became a household name. Today, Oracle is one of the most valuable tech companies in the world. It powers everything from government databases to hospital records to banking systems. And Larry's influence extends far beyond the tech industry. He's a major donor to various charities, and he's also an avid collector of art and real estate. In fact, he owns multiple homes, including a sprawling estate in California and an entire island in Hawaii. But despite his wealth and success, Larry remains humble. He's often seen wearing the same simple outfit, and he drives the same car he bought in 1996. He's also known for his down-to-earth attitude and his willingness to help others succeed. Throughout his career, Larry has been a mentor and role model for countless aspiring entrepreneurs. He's shown them that it's possible to build a successful business from scratch, and that it doesn't take billions of dollars to make a difference in the world. In fact, Larry's story is an inspiration to anyone who wants to pursue their dreams, no matter how difficult they may seem. He's a living example of the saying, if you dream it, you can do it. And it all started with just $2,000 and a dream. So what's the lesson here? Your background doesn't matter. What matters is your mindset, and Larry Ellison proves it. He had a rough childhood, dropped out of college twice, and bounced from job to job. But he never let that define him. He saw opportunities where others saw problems. He took bold risks and faced setbacks head on. He says, I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. And that's the spirit that drives him to this day. So if you're struggling to find your footing in life, don't despair. Look to Larry for inspiration. Embrace the unknown, take calculated risks, and never ever give up on your dreams. Who knows? You might just be the next Oracle. And if you're serious about building wealth, I have a question for you. Are you subscribed? If not, why not? It's free. And if you're already subscribed, watch this video.